Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it. You're gonna go O'Reilly with it?
Did he actually say fuck it, we'll do it live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought he was like, we'll do it live.
No, I'm pretty sure he dropped the F-bomb.
Oh, good for
Nah.
him. All right. Well, we'll try to play the intro music. I'll try to play a sin. It may or may not be hinky.
I don't
but
hear
we'll
as much
try.
crackling now, so
I don't either, but hey, let's give it a go.
Hey,
There it is.
all
We
right.
don't have computer aids
All right,
anymore.
we actually
All
did
right.
that with a viewer in the
And a
audience.
viewer in
So,
the audience. There, right.
so
Things are all falling
it's
together.
like nothing happened. It's like nothing happened.
Nope. It's like herpes. No one finds out. It doesn't exist.
I'm not sure if that's true,
That's
but
100% true.
I'm not sure if that's true at all.
But
I've never had herpes, so I can't vouch for that or not.
you could be saying that because I've never seen them.
Anywho, here we are.
So yeah, see, I still don't.
Yeah,
But that's all right.
whatever.
That's why
Yeah,
we have
whatever.
this nice little
Yeah, it's all right.
mic we can talk into.
All right.
But yeah. So anyway,
had to work out some technical. We still haven't mastered this this whole soundboard yet.
it also doesn't help that we just went on Amazon and said podcast equipment, and I found the cheapest one.
Yeah.
And
hey, all right.
Damned if it isn't.
It's good enough.
The cheapest one.
It's good enough.
It is good enough.
We don't have Bobby Lee and Tijuana money anymore, so
well,
we can't afford the high tech.
I'm assuming we'll never get the required views and whatnot for monetization for this channel. So
well, eventually one of us is going to say something fucked up enough that's going to go viral, and that's going to be like our big. It's going to drop sooner or later.
Whatever gets us the views.
Whatever gets us the views. We'll go Tom Green with it if we have to.
Do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine.
So anyway, we were going to talk this week about some book recommendations. I have a few here.
Actual books.
To be fair to say, it's not book recommendations because I've yet to read them, but it's books that I'm excited to read because of the content involved. Before we get into that,
well, you had a busy weekend.
I did have a busy weekend, and I am not feeling the greatest because I was all weekend with Derek, and if he doesn't try to kill me every time we hang out, then I just don't know.
Just do what I did, man. You just gotta, when you go to take the shot back, I just do the whole over the shoulder trick.
Goosebumps, yes, that's my recommendation. Those were great books, though.
I do love me some Goosebumps.
But even though I'm hurting. Traditionally,
where did you guys? What all? How much of a Derek night did you guys have? Like, it was his occasion, so how much was it worse than your wedding?
No.
Okay.
So I will say I tossed back a handful of Yuenglings.
Oh, Yuengling.
Yuengling is America's finest and oldest brewery.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, I had quite a many of those. But no, it was.
I normally don't feel like if I'm just tossing back cans of Yuengling, I normally don't feel that.
No, it's
drafts are different.
It's not only good, but it's good for
drafts are different
because the place that typically the places you go, if they don't clean their lines or the CO2 is a little off and whatnot.
Does that have something to do with it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gets you sick.
I don't know how that stuff works.
Yeah, if they don't clean their lines and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine the schoolhouse was really worried about cleaning their lines.
So yeah.
Did he have some weird?
Good afternoon, Mr. Worley.
What up, man?
Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, no, we did some shots, played some games.
Did he have any of that disgustingly sweet stuff?
Yes, but it wasn't. Nothing was too terrible. But anyway, so speaking of board games and pop culture and some fun facts here. So do you remember? This all kind of ties in because this was obviously his bachelor weekend.
Right.
Do you remember the episode of Parks and Rec, the game that they were playing when Ben had his bachelor party?
Yeah, the one that he actually wanted them all to play.
Yes.
Was it Risk?
It wasn't Risk.
What was he playing in that?
Settlers of Catan?
Settlers of Catan, yes.
So we fucking played that. And I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's fun.
I had fun.
It's
fun.
I played
Derek
that.
Really enjoyed it, so I'm glad he got.
I played that for the first time last year, and I had a lot of fun with it.
It was hilarious. How much
I didn't play it right, but it was fun.
I believe we played it right.
I basically sectioned it off to where I just had all the sheep.
Yeah.
I played it like Andy with the Lions.
Yeah, basically.
I have everybody's sheep.
I think we kind of all fell into that trend for a minute, but then we
also
figured it out.
Another good one, Ticket to Ride. I finally played last year too. And that one's a lot of fun too.
Was that what it has
You
the
have to build
train on it?
trains.
Whatnot?
Yeah,
I keep seeing that at
that one's a lot of
Walmart.
fun. That one's a lot of fun. That's a that was a lengthy
That was
battle.
Danny. All
Who?
right, Danny.
Oh,
I was trying to get him to tune in live because I have a special gift for him. But all right, so
ooh.
where do we want to segue into? Do we want to segue into? I mean, I guess I can just recap the whole weekend since
Recap the
it's
weekend. We'll close out with the books and everything because I have a few that I'll talk about. Then I'll let you because I really didn't get into much this weekend, so it was a pretty
well,
pretty quiet.
it was a calm weekend for me for the most part, other than being out in
Yeah.
Ohio Powell, which if you're in or around the surrounding areas of Pennsylvania, if you can get to Ohio Powell, it's not too far of a trip for you. Beautiful state park, and I got to tell
Yeah,
you,
I was there once.
the rain was intense before we went up there,
It was windy as fuck
and
yesterday,
the
man.
waters were. I mean, I sent you
You
some
sent me the
videos.
snaps of the waters, and it was yeah.
Yes, most of my videos were of you as Sasquatch going over waterfalls.
I don't look like Sasquatch anymore though.
No. You've cleaned up a good bit. But beautiful location. Had a great time. Met some new people. Everyone was really cool. Um, had a lot of fun. Just being in that area.
Well, that's like your kind of environment too. That's where
I
you
like the
thrive.
outdoors. I do.
That's where you and Derek really thrive is in that kind of environment.
But another fun thing I found out this weekend, which this is my go-to party game from now on.
Okay.
So all right, so it's been known as Ring of Death, Circle of Death.
Yeah,
It's,
we played it once.
yeah. So it's the card game where there's different variations, but
Is it where you stick the cards under the tab?
you that some people do. We
Okay,
did.
that's what we did.
And there's other ones where it's like, well, the cards are all in a circle. If you break the circle, you have to do. So anyway, I think everyone knows kind of the game that I'm talking about. But in a one of the cards is typically a rule card where you make a rule.
Yeah.
I came up with the greatest one. Brace yourself.
Now, before you say it, I forget what the game. Do you tell people what the rule is, or is it one they got to figure out for
No,
themselves?
you tell people what the rule is, and if they
Okay.
don't do the rule, they have to
I thought it
drink.
was I thought it was like Mal, where you don't tell people what the rule is and you learn by breaking it. Okay.
So, well, the first rule I made for everyone was to look at me and tell me I had a nice penis. And then Derek's rule to counteract that one was for everyone to look at me and tell me I have a small penis. Both hilarious. So,
Oh, he's talking about.
oh, I thought you were trying to look at my penis.
No.
Yes, exactly. See, the circle of death gets you. It really does.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
So anyway, here's my new
Okay.
all-time favorite rule that I came up with on the fly.
Not
This
the
is a
penis
Johnny
one.
Whitesnake original.
All
That's
right.
not, well, yeah, the penis one, yes. But, so my favorite thing now to do is say, okay, before you pull a card, you have to give a stereotype.
Jeez.
And while people are sheepishly
Oh,
giving out
God.
like kind of jokey stereotypes like Asians may not be the best drivers, stuff like that, you look at them and you go like this. So you're making them think that they're being filmed being terrible. And it is a great rule and it is a huge fuck you.
How bad did it get?
Oh no, it was
Okay.
very mild.
I was gonna
Everyone there
say.
is extremely conscientious of things, so no one really. It was more just like,
Then-
oh, I guess I got to
then
drink again.
Johnny Whitesnake has to throw a wrench in that whole situation.
Clay Squatch is always shit in the woods. Oh, I'll tell you.
I'll let you know that I have never once shit in the woods. So
You've never shit in the woods.
no, but it's not going on the list.
It's going on the list. How have
Never-
you never open air shit?
Because
have you ever shit anywhere that isn't a toilet?
No.
And I'm excluding porta johns
No.
and outhouses.
No.
Have you ever even been in an outhouse?
Yes.
You never hunkered down and just
I've
leaned up against a tree
I've
and
never
flopped?
shit in an outhouse.
You know what though? I'll be honest. I would prefer to shit in the great outdoors
God
than
damn it, Danny. No, it's not.
It
This is how the list
Yes.
gets generated, and it's all
Hey.
from stupid.
So now that we have Danny Yum Yums on here, Danny Yum Yums, I have a gift for you.
Oh boy.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill Dale on the air. No, Dale,
Please.
actually, this is for you.
Wait, what?
Hold this.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were giving it
All
to
right,
me.
and go ahead and just open this up, please.
Anywhere?
Well, there you go. Cut away.
I meant like I didn't know if there was. I didn't know. I don't want to cut into what it was.
It's a kitten.
God damn it!
All right, reach on in there. What'd you get?
Why?
Go on. They're maracas. When we first started this show, our friend Danny wanted us to have Dale here have maracas, and buddy,
You know what? Actually, please kill me. Here, go with the original plan.
I made your dream happen, and for your viewing pleasure now, here is Dale with maracas. Go on and give him a little shake. Unbelievable. So anyway, where was I?
I don't even know. We were talking about. Oh yeah, shitting in the woods.
Oh yeah, shitting in the woods.
Yeah. Well, see, I never really had a reason to.
You don't really need a reason to though.
I feel like if
You've never really gone camping, so I guess
I've
that's
gone
not even
camping,
fair.
but I've gone camping places that have walkable like
Yeah.
facilities.
So camping.
Yeah, camping. I've never gone like camping, like middle of a desolate area where.
You've never been what but you've never actually been like tenting, I guess.
I've slept in a tent before.
He's very upset you didn't shake them,
Who's that?
Danny.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh, well.
So anyway, um another cool thing for all you gamers out there, if anyone plays Apex Legends, one of the gifts my buddy Derek gave me this weekend was this, and I feel terrible, and it's so hilarious because I didn't recognize what this was when he gave it to me. I was like on the spot. I'm like, water bottle.
Thanks.
It is fashioned to look like a shield bat from Apex Legends,
Yeah.
and now that like I see it, I can't unsee it, and I absolutely fucking love it. And so I'm excited to use this. I think it's just a really cool piece to have sitting around because it is from one of the games that we really love playing. So yeah, that was great. Trying to think of anything else that was fun happening
Well,
on this
like
weekend.
you said, the wind and the rain was so bad you probably really didn't have a chance to do anything
Well,
like.
to be fair, it wasn't bad while I was up there. It was
Oh, it was bad all day
right
here.
previous to when I was up there. But anyway, so we got what some book recommendations, some shout outs, and I have also a request I remembered that we can do too.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to do your? I know you said you had another shout out you wanted to do. Did you
yeah,
want to do your shout outs real
yeah, I'll do the
quick?
shout out. So the shout out actually goes to my in laws. I guess would be fair to say. It's to two sisters, a business that they own. It's called Groove Co- Riddle Tiddle Fiddle
Do you want
Faddle.
me to do it?
It's called Groove Coffee Company. They bought a trailer. They're fashioning this trailer into going to be able to go to weddings and other
That's
venues,
cool.
maybe
I like that.
like Sobel's Brewery, stuff like that, where they don't
Yeah.
have like
Well,
a
they have like food trucks and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah, so
that,
places
and
where
that's
we would
cool.
normally have like food trucks and stuff. I feel like that's where they're going to try to hang their hat at. It looks like they okay. So I don't believe they have uh, a link to anywhere but a Facebook group and Instagram too. I'm pretty sure too, but I don't understand Instagram, so I'm not going to post that. I have an email here. I will just make everything simple, and in the comments, I will post the email. But if you're in the Pittsburgh area or surrounding areas, please contact them for all of your
All of
coffee
your
needs.
groovy
All
coffee
your
needs.
groovy coffee needs. And you know what? I'm almost certainly positive that they should sell in that Groove Coffee mobile? Yingling. Because it's
What?
America's oldest and finest brewery.
So you want them to go to a brewery with a
Yes.
coffee business and sell Yingling?
Yes. Yes.
That's a bold strategy.
It is a bold strategy, but I feel like it would work.
Let's see if it pays off, Cotton.
So anyway, so these two books that I'm going to talk about, again, not recommendations because I've yet to read them, but they are my books on my list that I am very excited to read. Um, first one I have here is
Actual books, which is
they
astounding.
are
Yeah.
actual books. Look how thick this one is. If anyone's listening, I'll
it's your
fizzle the
average.
pages
It's your
out.
average length right there.
So
It's probably
that's
about like
what
what
she
300
said.
pages or so, 350 pages.
It is. I was gonna shit. If that's actually what it was. It looks closer to 250.
Oh, okay.
Um, but
That's like standard around 300.
yeah, but it's called The Origin of Evil Spirits. It just basically, from what I understand, it delves into like, where did we get the concept of the devil? There's stuff about the Book of Enoch in here, things like that that the Bible really don't
Devil's cool.
necessarily
He's a cool guy.
post. So yeah, I like. I really enjoy looking into.
I like the artwork on the front. That's a
Oh
cool.
yeah, for
That's a
sure.
cool cover.
Like the guy that gave it to me, our buddy Jordan. I guess
Yeah.
this is one of his professors.
Oh.
It's from RGT Wright. I think he said this is one of his professors that wrote this. So I'm very curious how this would be. I like learning about stuff like that. But then the other book that I have here that I'm excited to read, which is actually kind of a personal thing for me too. It's called Arizona Moon. It's a novel about Vietnam, and this was written by my wife's uncle.
Really?
So another fun fact: apparently, he also came up with the script for the movie Karate Kid, and it was stolen. That's a family story. How true it is, I don't know. I'd like to believe it is because that's pretty cool.
That's cool if that's true. I mean.
Well, allegedly they have really compelling evidence to
Oh,
support
really?
that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Pretty sweet.
yeah, so I just thought that was pretty cool. But those are the two books I wanted to talk about. I look forward to reading that because Vietnam was a pretty fucked up war.
You this far? You this far into it already?
No.
Oh,
I think
okay.
she was reading it. At one
Oh,
point.
okay.
But World War II was obviously like fucking wild, and World War One and shit, Civil War too. But I don't think a lot of people give the chops they should to the Vietnam War because that war was just it was. I can't imagine the fucking nightmare that had to been.
Did you ever see the movie Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise?
No,
That is a fucking terrifying movie. That movie fucks me up.
but but it just seems like any movie
Well,
of Vietnam is
that
just
one's
like fuck that.
yeah. Well, that one's based on the story of Ron Kovic, who came back paralyzed, and he became a real activist for the veterans and whatnot that were home, and it was shit. That movie, when they show like the military hospital and shit, dude, that movie fucks me up.
Oh yeah,
That's probably my favorite Tom Cruise movie. That's probably his best acting that I've ever seen from him.
You sure?
It's up there.
Are you forgetting about the Tropic Thunder?
Oh no, Tropic Thunder's up there too. No, Tropic Thunder's up there too. That was more of a testament for like makeup and everything. Because there are people that saw that movie that did not know it was him until the end credits.
If you're like watching, you're like, oh my god, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But so anyway, you have some books that
yes.
you'd like to recommend.
Well, I'm reading currently one trade paperback and an actual like novel. The trade paperback I'm reading is book 1 of Swamp Thing from Alan Moore. And Alan Moore is one of the, not even of comics, he's one of the greatest writers of all time.
What let me ask you this. What kind of year are we looking at? Is that a newer book? Is that older book?
Oh,
I don't know much about it.
I want to say 80s.
Oh, so it's
I want to say 80s.
Okay.
Alan Moore, you look at the resume, Watchmen, V for Vendetta, From Hell,
okay.
Swamp Thing. Yeah, Alan Moore, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He's fucking awesome. So that book's been incredible so far. And I'm also reading a book called The Lost Village, which is a recent book.
Is it
but
by M. Night Shyamalan?
It is not. But I do love I do love The Village. I don't care. I love that fucking movie.
Never seen.
But I love anything to do with like Roanoke or anything like that.
Oh, for sure. Like a mass.
Is
it the mass disappearance? As we get you the mystery behind it.
It's set in Sweden in this mining town in the 1950s.
Sorry. Sweden. That's where my head went to.
It's set in Europe in the 1950s in a small mining town, and it jumps between the 50s and modern day. Basically, there's a documentary crew that's going to investigate this the legend of this town that just vanished one day back in the 50s.
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you. Is this based on
I
facts?
don't. I think it might be inspired by various stories of towns like this
Similar
from
to
back in the
like
day.
you said, like
Yeah,
Roanoke and other,
various small towns like this
Okay.
back in the day. But essentially, it's a horror novel, so eventually some like, weird shit's gonna
Oh
happen.
well, if it's a horror novel, then yeah, that'd be
But
cool.
I bet these detectives, the first chapter is these detectives investigating, and all they can find is this body tied to this uh, pole and like rotting away, and no trace of anybody else. So apparently crazy shit happens. But the other book I got is I just bought this today on my way here, but I've been looking for a copy. It's called Swan Song by Robert McCammon. What?
I just thought of Andy Dwyer. This is my swan song.
I don't know if it's as good as that, but I'm not crazy about the cover. I prefer
It seems
I
pretty.
I prefer to have a first edition, but I guess those are kind of hard. This one's a little bit. This one is over 800 pages.
To me, I would walk past that in a heartbeat and not think twice about it because number one, it's called Swan Song.
It's yeah,
Number two, like you said, the cover really doesn't grab you, and it's a very thick book.
yeah. Well, I'm a big Robert McCammon fan. He's often kind of put in the same league of like Stephen King and whatnot.
I
What?
was just telling you, lean into the
Oh,
a
sorry.
little bit more.
Yeah, he's in the same league of Stephen King. He's from that era. He's known for his amazing storytelling. I've read a couple of his books. I have a few more that I haven't read yet, but Swan Song is considered like his best, one of his best books. It's compared to The Stand, like it's a nuclear apocalypse, post-apocalyptic book about the survivors. So I'm very excited to get into that eventually. I kind of have to work my way up to reading like a 900
Yeah, yeah,
900 page
that's
book.
a commitment. I mean, because it's so tough because it's like committing 3 hours to watching a movie is like nothing. But to get through a book like of that magnitude, it's like
Yeah,
it's so hard because you don't want to
it
read 6 chapters, stop, get busy for 5 days, come back.
yeah.
Where was I at?
Well, it my biggest thing is I try to at least dedicate at least a half an hour to reading a night.
Yeah,
At least one chapter. I think the longest book I read was Stephen King's It, and that's like around like 1100 pages or so.
that's pretty wild. And it has
I,
a kid orgy in
That's the only part of the book that
it. He's
unfortunately,
like,
for some reason, just it should I don't know why he thought it needed to
and he stands
exist, but
behind it.
yeah.
Which you know what? If you're gonna say or do anything, at the end of the day, you
Yeah.
can stand behind and just say it's
Stand by
fucked
it.
up. I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
stand by it. I
I'm
mean,
done.
the
You know what I
book's
mean?
the book's incredible, so I mean, that people can look past that one scene, but
It doesn't.
it
It still just doesn't clear up how or why that puppy.
I don't know. Well,
He was fine.
he also did a lot of drugs back in the day.
Well, he also wears little
Eh,
girls' shoes.
That's
Little
that's
girls'
not
shoes. Wait, who are we talking about?
that's Stephen King.
Oh, fuck.
You're talking about Steven that story about Steven
Yeah, yeah, they
Spielberg.
all do.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, he doesn't remember writing Cujo, supposedly. He was on so much
He's
cocaine.
such a like a weird nerdy guy that you wouldn't think like, oh, that guy's all fucked up on
Oh,
drugs.
I remember reading watching an interview with him at like some like library out in Maine, which they do give a Stephen King tour, which I'd love to go on one day.
That would be cool.
But apparently, like all they needed to hire him, they fronted him at a local motel and they gave him like a 6 pack of beer, and that was enough for him to come and talk at this.
Well, to be fair, I mean, this show is basically just fueled by Yingling. So
That's fair. And
herbs, pickled
her pickled
sausages,
sausage,
they are delicious.
which I will not be having any today, but I
I'm gonna have
will.
one here in a little bit, maybe not on air, but I am gonna have another one because I have been eyeing them up.
So yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. I do highly recommend Swamp Thing, and that's a very legendary comic run. So I'm sure most people who are fans are at least aware of it, and at least aware of Alan Moore. I mean, the dude looks like a fucking wizard.
Michael Moore.
I, when I was young, I did go through a Michael Moore phase where I watched like Sicko and Fahrenheit 9/11, and
Yeah, and then I just got real annoyed. I'm just like, but why is this guy so angry about the dumbest things?
well, then they Matt Stone and Trey Parker blew him up in Team America, which is pretty funny.
That was pretty
So,
funny. I just like he brought those kids from like Columbine, like the victims went up
yeah,
after Walmart. He's like, take your bullets back. And I'm not, and they're like, yeah, they're in my back still. It sucks. It's like, what? Why?
why not?
Man, why not? I guess.
Uh, I don't know.
So the other thing that was recommended to us was I can't remember exactly, and I believe this was from Danny as well.
Hmm.
But like one-liners
Oh, our
from TV
movie
shows or
lines.
movies that
Yeah.
you use all the time, which there are many, many that we do, like a shocking amount. Which my top one, I say on the daily basis, and I will continue to say till the day I die, is well, see you later. Anytime I exit a room or just walk away from a conversation,
Yeah.
well, see you later. And
I-
that's obviously from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of ones that I say a lot.
Can I tell you one?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do that a good bit. And for some reason, we always this always just kind of comes up like I either I'll walk up doing it or like, you'll walk up doing it or we'll just break into it. But
Oh. Yeah. I don't know.
it's
I
just
don't know why that
for
even
some
started.
reason that just
I don't necessarily just say like a lot of one-liners from movies. I, for some reason, get random lines of dialogue stuck in my head that resonate with me. I wouldn't say I say a whole lot, but if I had to pick like favorites, um, obviously anything Tarantino's put on paper is fucking
yeah
quotable.
yeah.
I quote Army of Darkness a lot. Army of Darkness, and Kevin Smith, obviously Clerks. We quote a lot to each
Yeah, yeah,
other.
yeah. Clerks is definitely
Clerks
one.
and Mallrats, I quote a lot. So I wouldn't say it's like a specific line. I say like a lot of movies and specific writers. I say their shit a lot, just randomly. I don't know. So trying to think of personal favorites, but
Again, my personal favorite is just it's got to be the "Welp, see you later" because
yeah,
I literally say it
you
all the
say
time,
that probably like over 10 times a day.
and it never gets old to
It
me,
doesn't.
anyways.
Well, that's it's just so fucking funny.
It is, and
That
it was
scene's so
improvised too. Is what
and
makes
it
it
was
great.
improvised. Yeah.
So yeah, what else we got?
I don't think that was the majority of the stuff.
I think that was the bulk of
Unless anybody who's still watching, we're only up to one person right now. But if anybody has anything they'd like to hear, we're probably going to sign off here pretty soon and
it.
call
I
that
just
an
want you to
episode.
dance with maracas.
Yeah, well, they're all the way over there now, and so yeah, I'd say that about covers everything I got. Any more things you like to talk about? Still works.
No, actually, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, we'll find a time to do this next week then, and
Oh, I guess that is something we do want to say. We would like to do make a conscientious effort to put a time and a day to the show, Monday through Friday, whatever day at a certain time. So if you guys can comment on a certain time or day that works best for you guys to tune in live, so we can interact. I know a lot of people have said it's hard. They'll be like, "Oh, I missed your guys' episode. I didn't know you were going to be on, or you text me too late." Um, just please let us know like a time or a day what works best for you guys, and we'll make that happen. And now, well, see you later.